Hey there. This is Dr. Pam Perry.
Hey yo, kick back, relax, let's dive in the page. Pam Perry picks got the books for your brain. From fiction and non-fiction, all genres insane. We coming through showing love with a lit game. Greatest stories ever told, gotta find your pick. Imagination running wild, ain't nothing slick. Get lost in the pages, let your mind drift. Pam Perry picks got your brain in the bookshelf vibe. Turning the pages with pride. Pam Perry picks got the words by your side. Bookshelf vibe, turning pages with pride. Pam Perry picks got the words by your side. From the classics to you, we got the books for you. Get your mind right, let the knowledge accrue. Bookshelf vibe, expand horizons wide. Pam Perry kicks keeping readers satisfied. Books up high, knowledge we can't deny. Get your reading on, just book one fly. Click cover image.
Hey there. This is Dr. Pam Perry, and we have a guest today that's an author of the pick that we have called One Decision. And it is on Amazon right now. And I'm so excited because one of the things is that I know his mom. And I don't want to embarrass him, but I do know his mom, Lucinda Cross, and she wrote a book as well. And before we kind of even talk about your book, her book really was a life-changing book as well. And that's on the Amazon down here as well. So you can kind of get that. But the book is called One Decision. And to give you a little bit about him, this is like a true life story that one decision can change your life. So without kind of getting all into it and being a spoiler alert, which I'm known to do, but it was one of those things that that has made him go from where he is to where he is now. He's a CEO of Bartech. He's an author. He's a youth advocate. He's an AI coach. He really helps troubled youth transform into tech savvy leaders. So with that, tell us a little bit about how you got to that place from where this book was, because that was like probably not a thing to do, right? It's like, okay, well, how did I end up here?
Well, thank you for the introduction, but I never see myself as an author at all. So it's just amazing to create such a creative work of art, and then also to use this as a tool to help mentor. But really how I got to that space is the decisions I made in my life just had me reflecting, and like, how can I impact somebody who was maybe, well, I was once in their shoes. So how can I impact and give them the guidance so they don't have to go through the things that I went through? So that's why it made me write this book, One Decision, and just targeting the youth. Here's how you handle these situations. Here's the mentorship and guidance you need. I don't want you to walk in my shoes. I want you to have a better route. So that's really what brought me to that. I just wanted to help the youth and just give back.
All right. So now we got to get into what was the situation. Okay. So now we're going to get into the situation. I'm going to let you tell it. I have the book. I want them to get it, but you tell them the situation and what happened and what was that one decision that was life-changing for you.
Okay, so that one decision that was life-changing for me was I went out, with a couple of people that I call friends. I'll call them associates. I was 21, 20, in the senior year of my college for my bachelor's. I was going to Albany University, but I chose to go out. This was right before the school semester. I chose to go out and hang out, and go to the club, which is in unfamiliar territory, which is, I didn't think of it as nothing, so I'm 21, just going to have a good time. I'm going to school the next day. I'm excited. I'm ready to graduate, get my bachelor's in computer science. And it was just something in the air that was telling me, don't go out this night. It was like a sign. So it was like God telling me, like, it was some uneasiness in the air, but I ignored the signs. I'm going out. I'm ready to party. So I end up going out. I go to this club in Queens, and things weren't crazy. Nothing really happened during the club. We were just drinking. But after, an altercation arose between the people that I went to the club with and some local individuals from the Queens community. I don't know where they're from, but leading up to the I don't want to get too much spoiler because it's all in the book, but leading up to the incident, there was an altercation, which turned into a shootout, and I made that one decision in my life to actually fire a gun back. Thank God nobody was hurt, but that decision changed my life right then and there. So, leading after that, just me being naive. I'm like, oh, what is this situation I just did? What did I get myself into? I end up going to school probably like the next day. I had all my bags packed, so I go right to college, go to Albany. I'm thinking like I'm checking the news. I'm like, oh, what happened? Did anybody get hurt? Because this has never been my lifestyle.
Right,
It's,
right.
it's never been my life. I just made a bad decision,
Hmm.
around the wrong people. So now I'm checking the news, and then I was given about 2, 3 weeks. Then they came to my dorm room and they stormed my dorm and came and got me. So
Oh my God. Oh my God. And so at that point, it's no longer life as normal. Did
no,
you you go to jail? At this point, you're praying, and at this point, your mom is praying. Everybody's
absolutely,
praying. No one did get killed. That's I just want to
absolutely.
no one got killed. So that I don't want people to know that. So no one got killed. But the thing of it is that you didn't have that senior year of just like getting ready to graduate, looking for jobs, that sort of thing. So then, what was life like for you at this point? You're going through the court case. What's interesting, one of the things, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. It's Khalid,
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 Khalid.
Khalid. Oh,
Yes, thank you.
Khalid. So Khalid. So one of the things was interesting. The first person you called, and just got to help me with the young people on this. Why didn't you call your mama first? Who'd you
Oh,
call? You called your girlfriend first. It's like,
oh man.
so I'm a mama, and I'm like, really? What's she gonna do? Okay, so tell me what the rationale of that was.
So, in the story, I want to say that the first person I did call when I did get arrested and all of that, it wasn't the first, but it was more the person that I like one of the calls I made, which was the main call I made. It was my girl because I felt like I felt such a disappointment. Like I felt
Okay.
like I let my
Okay.
mom down.
Okay, I got you. Okay. So that explains it then, because we're there to help no matter what you do. So it's just that
Yes.
it was just kind of like one of those things. So did you, and this is just something that, because I know you and your mom, in her book, the and I have it linked there. So what was the name of her book?
Which one?
The Rebel Road to Redemption.
Road to Redemption, yes.
So did you read that book?
I read all, no, let me not lie. I skimmed through my mom's books. I never
Okay,
really
so
read
the
them.
road to redemption was really about her situation that she went to when she went to jail, and basically redeemed. And she's very successful motivational speaker, all of that.
Yes.
And this had to be like for her, uh, almost like what? Because she's really around the same time too, probably a little bit younger, but a little bit younger. So what were you thinking in terms of that, or did that even cross your mind that happened? Because you didn't, obviously Road to Redemption, Lucinda's book talks about how she overcame all that, and then one decision on her part led to some things. But did you think about that at that time, or while you were in jail, did you think about it? Tell me a little bit about the correlation between the two.
So it felt like more of a spiritual battle that I was going through because my mom did everything in her power so I won't have to go through the things that she went through. And
Yeah.
then ultimately I'm in the same situation. How not irony, but like this is not what she envisioned for me. This is not what I envisioned for myself or anybody.
Hmm.
She fought these battles, so I didn't have to fight these battles, but I took
Exactly.
it upon myself. So it was too much to even it was just such a hard pill to swallow. Like, how could I even do this? It was hard to forgive yourself for something like that.
Hmm.
For a woman who did everything in her power, yes.
Yeah, yeah, that was one of the things. So I'm thinking, I just heard this today. There was a gentleman. He is actually the godson of someone that I know, and he went to jail for 5 years.
Hmm.
And one of the things is that, again, in the wrong place at the wrong time, they were somehow or another, these gentlemen, they were young gentlemen, they were probably not even 21, I don't think, but they had a gun and they were passing it around. And somehow or
Hmm.
another, the gun went off, shot someone in the foot. The person didn't die, but he did go to jail for that situation. And so part of it is like, was it the society in terms of like just trying to, like, why are you playing with a gun? Why are you passing a gun around, first of all? But then I also heard that there was another person who was making guns that they learned how to make on TikTok. I'm like,
It's
what the
crazy.
heck? I'm like, so this is young men. So this is young men.
Yes.
So kind of give me a little bit about how you now have turned all of that around to the passion of what you're speaking to youth, especially to young men, about what you're doing with them now, because they have a lot of things coming at them, a lot of things.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I feel like with the youth, they're so misguided and they use the wrong, I would say they're looking for mentorship, but in the wrong places. So
Yeah.
they may think these people are mentors or their friends are good stand-up people or they want the best for them, but no, that's not where mentorship, like they're looking in the wrong places is what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
When really, so that's really what drives my mission. Like, hey, listen, here's who you want to surround yourself with. Here's what you want to do daily. Here's how you want to think. Here's the decisions you want to make, how you're self-aware of the people you're around.
Yes.
So so yes,
Yeah.
it's just and it's strong, like you said, around the youth because there's so many negative influences with the media, with the music, with the news. All they do is portray negative. So
It
the
is.
narrative, yes, the narrative is
Or
very
when
negative.
someone said that they learned how to make a gun on
That's
TikTok.
crazy.
And then from there, when he made the gun, other people were asking him because he did such a good job to make them guns. And so obviously now he's in trouble. He's in jail and all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
Um, because he even learned how to make it automatic. I mean, and I'm thinking like, you're so smart to know how to even do that. Let's
Hmm.
put it for good. And like you said, the mentorship is not there, but there are uh, influences, I guess you would say. So let's get back to
Exactly.
when you said you thought maybe it was a spiritual battle that you were going into. So kind of speak a little bit to that, because I just happened to pick this other book up the other day, guy by the name of Big Sean. Okay.
Okay.
Big
Okay.
Sean, he's from Detroit. And basically he talks about a spiritual journey that he went through, because when he first signed, he had depression, anxiety, thoughts of suicide, all of this. And he said it was a spiritual battle. So I want you to
Absolutely.
speak to a little bit as well, because he's roughly, well, I think he's probably about the same age or a little bit older, but kind of talk a little bit, because I want people to understand um, what it is that people are going through, not just the negative of the environment, but spiritual as well.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So I grew up in a Christian household, but I wasn't as found and had my relationship set with God yet. So it took me going through my situation for me to get closer. So I feel like I was put through that situation, so I'm closer to God. But when I say a spiritual battle, it's things that you can't see. It's things in your area that you don't know that's coming, but they're there. So you have to pray against these things. So that
Mhm.
spiritual warfare is real. Is real. It's like
Yeah,
really, you have to pray with. I put armor of God on me every day.
yeah,
It's serious. So
it is serious and it's for real. It's the same thing that Big Sean said too. He said he grew up in a Christian home and didn't realize how really important it was until really these
ex-
thoughts of suicide and anxiety and
absolutely,
depression, all those things, even though he had success, even though he was signed with records and all this kind of stuff, he just did not know what was going on. And so part of it is we do go back to our roots, and
absolutely.
that's when, you know, it's either my mother prayed for me and my grandmother. We always say that God doesn't have grandchildren, but basically we do lean back on it when there is a situation. And when you went through the legal battle and then going through the prison system and all those type of things, did you notice any shifts, or what were some of the miracles that you saw that were happening that you were thinking like, I feel alone, but then I also feel God at the same time? Like, so give us some of those signs that you saw that you talk about, in the book.
Okay, so some of the signs you saying while inside or like
Hmm.
up to
Hmm.
this day while inside. So
Hmm.
I don't know. It just you come out of a depression state, you come out of being down, sad, but when you start getting closer to God, it's like you don't have to put all the weight on yourself.
Yeah.
So now I could lean and have faith with somebody else. I could put my faith into something. I could put my weight onto somebody else. So doing that just relieves so much stress for me. It helped me think clearly. And then I'm just listening. So I stayed quiet. I just listen to God. I ask him first every morning, what do you want me to do? Who do you want me to be around? Show me who's with me and show me who's against me. I prayed that every day. And time, I grew mentally. I started reading books. I started surrounding myself with decent people because I'm not gonna say all people are bad in prison. There are decent guys who made
Yeah.
mistakes just like me. So just building that spiritual ground and helped me and molded me into the person I am today. Just the journey I took while inside and even the resilience I had
And the
has
favor that you got too, because
favor too. And
yeah,
I want to get into that too because I'm still doing my time, but I
well,
am in a
out,
favorable outcome right now.
yeah,
So I'm in a program called Work Release where I'm out 5 days a week, but I turn
yeah,
myself in on the weekends. But that's a blessing too. Like most people are just doing their time. I'm able to come out, work, give back to the youth, and I still have to turn myself in, but I'm in a better outcome than I
yes,
would be.
and making
Yes,
an impact, and making an impact.
absolutely.
That is
Absolutely.
that is one of the things that is part of the testimony. It's like you didn't choose it, but if you could, you'll realize years later what an impact that was, because
Absolutely.
you would have went to college, you would have been like, okay, I'm sitting at a desk working and
Yes.
yeah,
The
watching the
regular.
basketball game and like, like that kind of thing, but not really making a big impact. And that's what I'm
Absolutely.
seeing, that kind of thing between you and this one here, the one with Big Sean, because I kind of put you all in the same thing, because these are, if you kind of look a little bit, you kind of see how they have that same kind of color.
I think
And it's
mine
like
is the one to the left is a little better, but I see it.
yeah, but you can kind of see where it's like on a road, and that's kind of like where it's just like it's going higher. And this is kind of
Yes,
like
yes,
I
yes.
see that for you, because I actually got that book before this one, and I was like, wow. And so it's a, I won't say it's a trend, but it's
Yes.
something that is very prevalent right now that I want, especially young men, to really pay attention to, and I want them to really connect with you as well. So how do they connect with you? I know, give me I'll put your website down there as well, because I want them to connect with you, have you come and speak and that sort of thing. So what's the best way?
I'm always available per email. You can text my direct line or contact. I'll give out my number if you want to put it down and below, but my number is 347-812-2027. Any young men who's going through anything, need guidance,
Okay,
mentorship.
you gotta say, I don't type that fast. Three
Oh,
four
oh,
seven
okay. 347
mm-hmm.
812
812
2027.
2027. Okay.
Yes,
And I'm gonna put that here so that people can actually have that. And I want them to contact you um,
absolutely.
for that. Okay, so that's scrolling across the bottom there.
I
Three
want to
four seven 812 two
yeah.
zero two seven. Mm-hmm.
And also my Instagram works as well. I'm very active on, I know you have my website, but I'm very active on Instagram, which is my
Okay.
name, Khallid Barber.
Khallid
So
Barber. Okay. All right. So Khallid Barber as well. So that's kind of like, I see a lot of things on your Instagram as well, and that comes up as well. But one of the things, when people are in trouble, they don't know who to call. I'm so glad that you gave your number out, because it shows that you're
absolutely.
accessible and you're really about it. Very, very about it. Kind of like the way your mom was. Your mom is the same thing as well. Do you see you and your mom doing anything together in the future with her foundation and the things that she's doing with that?
So we do have an event planned and I'll keep you guys updated, but we do have an
Okay.
event plan where I'm gonna just give it a little spoiler. We're both gonna speak on what it's like for a mother and son duo to both go through the system, but to
Yeah.
also come out of that area and have resilience and give
I
back and do,
know.
yes,
That
overcome
is so.
adversity.
So I love Lucinda. So I know I didn't talk to her, but I was like, I know that is part of the mission for you all. It is really
Absolutely.
part of it as well. And so the thing that is really important is that right now, it's right now, because it is so many um, young men that basically are hopeless. And I think they said the suicide rate for young African American men is the highest, more than any other, you know, sector, more than women, more than white guys, that kind of thing. So I really want you all to do that event. So we'll make sure that text you, get on your website, go on your Instagram for when that's coming up, because that's something that is really important. And then, like you said, you didn't see yourself as an author. Do you see yourself as a mini documentary, or a mini, what do they call it, a docu series or something like?
Docu-series.
Yeah, yeah,
So I used to think like, okay, do I want to share my story as a docu-series or do I just want to leave it as a book? But I feel like the more, the bigger impact. So I'm all about impact. So if it's going to help somebody or change somebody's life, then I'm doing it. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is. I'll do everything. Docuseries, Netflix,
Yeah.
film, whatever. So
I
yes,
I think that is the next step. So tell me a little bit about some of the impact with some of the young people that you have spoken to, or what the response was. First of all, it takes a lot of courage, bravery, resilience too, but bravery and courage to go forward, tell your story, because you never know how people are going to react. So what was the first time you told your story in front of some youth? What was their reaction?
believe it or not, the first time I told my story in front of youth was in a detention center.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little rough, and but their reaction was okay, he understands. He's
Yeah.
around our age, because I'm only 24. He's around our age. He went through some of these situations, so he may be credible to some sort, where youth, they don't want to listen to anybody who's older.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it gives me like a credibility with the youth. So I tell them that, they're like, really? You did that? You did this? What? That? I'm like, yes, yes. But let's focus on what's really important. This is how you overcome this. This is how you open up. This is how you not bottle emotions in. So, it felt amazing though. It felt great.
And so some of the things you never know, even the ones that probably didn't even speak to you, just you sharing and showing up probably made an impact to them. Because there's a lot of times, and I can even say this too, with like my daughter, she met a speaker many years ago. His name was E.T. She was,
Okay.
this was about 20 years ago. No, but at least 15 years ago. And she came home and she's not impressed by, I work with speakers in office all the time, and she's not impressed with anybody. And she just kind of came home, just says, "Oh, we saw a good speaker today." I said, "Really? What was the name?" She said, "I don't really know. I don't know. E.T." And so at that time, he wasn't really as big as he was then. Now, his name is Eric Thomas. He's from Detroit. And
Yes.
I Googled him, and it was a video that says, "How bad do you want it? Do you want it as bad as you want to breathe?" And I said, he's got like over 10,000 views on this video. She said, "Yeah, he was good." And it was that thing. It was like that really made an impression on her. But her face, and probably while she was sitting there, and probably just like, I don't even really. But on the inside, it made
Yes.
a difference because for her to come home and tell me, I was like, oh, he must have made a big difference. So just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. They can probably look stone faced. They could be in a detention home. They could be in a school board. They can even be falling asleep, still talk anyway, because they're listening. They're
Yes.
listening. They're
They
listening.
are.
And
They
and
are.
and that is the thing. So do you want to you have the book on Amazon? Is it possible that you can sell them to school districts and things like that? What are some of the plans? Or are they in libraries? In case, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I'm working on getting them in different areas, but I do sell them to schools. They are available for bulk purchase, and they are available through regular purchase through my website. You can just
Good.
always contact me for further information. But I am having another book signing too.
Yes.
April 1st is going to be at Harlem Haberdashery. So
Okay. Okay.
looking forward to people attending. But yes, you can buy it, schools, anybody can buy it. You don't have to be younger to buy it. This goes for anybody.
Yeah,
Anybody at a crossroad who just
that's
needs
it.
some type of energy, like, oh, hold on, he overcame this. Why am I complaining about this morning? And he's
What
going, he's
about your
doing this
high
now.
school, your old high school? Did
You
you
know,
did you did you send it to the principal, the school? Just tell them like, hey, I could do an assembly. Did
Dr.
that?
Oh
That's
my
a full
gosh.
circle. Yeah, I know.
Dr. Perry is I'm just so embarrassed. I didn't have the courage
I
yet to
know,
go to
but
my
that
high school. Oh
yeah,
my
I know.
gosh.
I can I listen. It to go back to the high school where you were, but it's also too to show that hey, I came from a good high school just like you, from a good family. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. I'm just here to warn you. And
Yes,
it's really about picking the right people to be around. And really, one of the things you said too is you had an unction to not go out. Follow that. So explain to
please.
people the spiritual part of that. Like God can't come down and like slap you and lock you in a room physically. All God can do is just give you a feeling or a sign of some sort, and just paying attention to those signs. So going back to the high school would be a full circle moment when you're ready, But it is something that, even if you don't go to the high school, maybe call the the person who is the over the newspaper in the high school there and say, hey, I've got a scoop for you. I've
Oh
got
my
a
God.
story for you, you
Oh
know.
my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'll
Because
do it.
it's a small media thing where they would read the book, they would interview you, and then really just explain the whole situation of it can happen to anyone. And it does. It happens to anyone. Like I was telling you about my friend's godson. You know,
Yeah.
he's playing with a gun, shoots somebody in the foot accidentally, his friend. So
In
it wasn't
five
like he went
years?
to five
Yeah.
years.
That's
Five.
that's ridiculous.
It
That's
is
outrageous.
ridiculous. That part is I don't know why that is so much. It really is. Good fan, I don't know, but it's like they used him as an example to what not to do. So if we can put this person away, then it would scare all the rest of the people who were doing that kind of thing. You know, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. It was definitely super harsh, I thought. But he's only just gone in there. Maybe he can get out in a few, but the sentence is there. That's what's really so hard. So in terms of social media, all the things that people see, you and your mom, we did not grow up with social media. We got it later, but I don't know
Hmm.
what it's like to be a youth to actually have your life lived out online. And
Yes.
that's a whole nother mental uh situations that people have to deal with as they get to be in their adult years, because someone that you did something at 12, 13 years old, it's going to stay with you in life because the internet doesn't die.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
so anything that we did, like as young people, that's not on the internet. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God. But with you guys, it's like it's there. And so helping people deal with that is um, explaining to them about their brand, so to speak. Do you ever talk to them about the how technology and social media and branding really works together so that they know not to, you know, post stuff that's crazy?
Absolutely, but it comes to the point where again, the people who they surround themselves with, what's cool to them may not be. They don't want to post. They don't want to restrict their posting or move a certain way on social media. They don't even have that mental conscience to act like that. Like, why is that important or protecting my brand? Why is that the
Yeah.
representation of myself? So it's about the small decisions you make. But that's what we
Yeah.
hear now. Just, hey, this is how you present yourself. This is how you shake somebody's hand. This is how you do an elevator pitch. This is how you have your tie right. Like, it's the
Yeah.
simple thing. You don't post this. You don't post smoking. You don't post doing drink. Like, come on.
Yeah, especially yeah, especially if you are underage and you're drinking and
Absolutely.
you're doing that you go into a job interview and they're like, okay, they've looked you up and it's like, okay, you're only 18 and we see you just turn it up. It's like, what is going on? So obviously you don't have that job, and that can happen. That can happen. That is it's it can affect jobs, scholarships, and if you want to go for an award, if you ever want to run, those kind of things. Even though they may not think about it now, but please kind of talk to them about a bigger brand, because it's something that we didn't have to deal with younger, but you do. Everything that you do now is
Absolutely.
about that. And
Absolutely.
and so, I think some sororities, I know some sororities for sure that they have a protocol or a rule that there can be no pictures of them with
Hmm.
alcohol. That's just part of their protocol because of, part of the going through the sorority being a part of it. Is like that's the thing. So they can't. So there needs to be some kind of hard fast rules about what it is that you can do, because it's going to stay with you forever.
Absolutely.
Don't matter what age it is. So I want to make sure I put the phone number up here again, and then say your Instagram and your website again so people can get in touch with you.
So my Instagram is Khallid Barber with two L's, Khallid. Barber as in barbershop. And my
Okay.
website is khallidbarber.com. So
All right, Khallid Barber. All right. Very, very good. And then your company is called
Bark Tech.
Bartech. I love that. I
Yes.
love that. So that is
Yes.
good. So you can speak, talk to, mentor, all those kind of things for the
Absolutely.
youth and everything. I love it. I love it. So, and then your phone number is down at 347-812-2027. A text or a phone call. That is one of the things that you will do. So I love it. I love it. And the book is really, really good. It's not a big read, long read. So, a lot of times people say there's, I think they said only 90% of the people really get through a book. because they don't like to read a whole lot.
I know.
This is one that people can finish. So this is one they can finish. And we did not give all of the spoilers in it. So I left that so that I let you talk, because if I start talking, I'll probably start telling one. So make sure that they get that as well. But they can actually click the link on the Amazon Live and pick that up as well. That one,
Yes.
and The Road to Redemption as well. So you two coming soon with.
Oh. I don't know what happened. Every pussy.
All right. God bless. All right. I will talk to you later. Thank you. All right, Khallid.
All right.
Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.